5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. It's time to talk golf. It's, by the way, October 2nd, 2014. I just tell you that so you know you're listening to a live show. Jim Beckett is in the studio ready to talk golf with you. If you have something you want to talk to Jim about, whether it's a question or just want to, what do you call it, chew the golf fat about the game that has the little ball with the dimples all over it. The phone number here is 622-9622. Jim, of course, good friend of the show, of the station, of ours, and he's a PGA professional and the founder of the Golf College, and he can give you lessons on your favorite golf course. You don't have to go to him. He can come to you. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Good morning. Beautiful morning.
So, you know, I'm
should have nobody listening. They should be out playing golf.
No. They should be listening in their golf carts with
then go play
the radio.
Yeah, right.
So do you okay, I have a Google News alert. Do you do any of those things?
No, I don't. I guess I don't.
Okay, well, what it is, if you don't know, and for those who don't know, is it's a simple thing you can do if you're, especially like me, and you have to do news. So I sign up, like anytime there's a story about Ocala, they will send me, hey, there's a story about Ocala.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and that's that. So I when we started the relationship with you, I put in the word golf. Anytime there's a golf story, let me know about it. That way I know what to talk to Jim about, okay? Because if it's in the news and it's golf, I might not see it otherwise.
So you're more up to date than most golfers.
But I have one today that was unlike, I was, yeah, probably. Well, you know what it's like? It's like the skyline in New York.
Yes.
When you grow up in New York, I grew up in New York, and people would visit you. They would point to the skyline, and they go, what's the name of that building? And I go, geez, I don't know the name of the building. You think, I know the Empire State Building. That's about it. They go, oh, I know what it is. And they'll tell you the names of the buildings. So I said, wow. The people who visit know the buildings better than the people who live here.
I didn't know that you grew up in New York City.
Well, in the suburb.
Yeah.
Just outside.
Well, same thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that New York is a great state. If you ever go to upstate New York, people don't even know that exists, and that's a wonderland. Maybe they want to keep it quiet, so they're probably...
Well, and to make the golf connection, one of my best friends is a manager of a golf course on Long Island. It's called, I think I've asked you about it, if you knew about it, Hollow Hills.
New York City and the vicinity around has marvelous golf facilities, inexpensive. Marvelous.
I have no idea how much it costs. It's beautiful.
The mayor, the ex-mayor, is a golf nut, and he had a whole show on that. How many? It was 12 golf courses within 10 miles of New York City.
Oh, yeah.
For less rates than some of our rates here.
Oh, really? See, I didn't know that.
Oh, they got some fabulous municipal facilities.
So anyway, the golf story that Google sent me this morning had nothing to do with golf. It had to do with this guy breaking into, I can't remember the city, it was in California. I don't know what city. He had a golf club, and he killed 920 chickens at a chicken farm with a golf club. So I said, this isn't golf news. This is chicken news.
Chicken news, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I would share that with you.
That's sort of interesting.
Golf club.
I'm not sure I'd even want to see that.
Me either.
I wonder what club it was.
I don't know. There's got to be a joke in there somewhere. Yeah. I don't know. He was probably, I don't know. He killed 920 chickens with a golf club at Foster Farms. This was a story from the Los Angeles
California.
Times. Yeah, somewhere.
Yep.
Anyway, so I don't have any real golf news for you other than that.
This would be, hey, big guy, there's a golfer walking by right there.
You knew him?
Yeah.
Did he recognize?
I don't remember his name, but I know him.
He probably couldn't see through the window. It's hard to see in here. By the way, if you have a question for Jim, it looked like somebody was trying to call in, and maybe you gave up because I was stuck on my little story. 622-9622 is the phone number to speak to Jim right now.
Well, it's that time of year where all of us local golfers need to be out there playing. We've got the good weather now. It's been raining a little bit, but we've got the good weather now, and we're still pre-season for the winter visitors to get here. So, this is a very good month.
We've been promoting the Special Olympics. I know you know this, but
yes,
they're having a golf tournament on Saturday, so. Hopefully they have good weather.
Special Olympic is a very special organization. I happen to be friends with the gentleman who is head of Special Olympics for Florida. He got to know the Shivers in college, and he's never had a job, so to speak. He started working part-time as a college student. They put him to work full-time since he graduated from college, and he went with them his entire career.
Now, I should know who the Shivers are. Who are they?
Kennedy's.
Oh, the Kennedy. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Maria Shriver. Okay.
Yep. He knew the mom, of course. But what an interesting background. He traveled the world for a while.
So that's the secret. You got to know somebody like that, and then.
Well, I don't know, but I mean, here we have access to him here in Florida, and he's just a very unpretentious, straightforward, wonderful person, regardless of what he did. And he was perfect for the system. He was a good fundraiser. Always wanted to be a better golfer.
Wow.
And that's how I got to know him. And so we touch base on a regular basis.
So maybe he has the Midas touch. Maybe you can fill up this golf tournament. It's 2 days from today, I hope.
I'm sure he's been an advisor to it. He retired 2 years ago, but he was in semi-retirement for 2 years.
Oh, really?
Now he's in full retirement, but still active.
We had a basketball player in here the other day. I have a question for you. He is a semi-professional. Now, in music, there's no such thing. You're either amateur or professional.
I always thought semi was a strange word.
Can you be a semi-professional golfer?
Not officially in any capacity that I'm aware of.
Okay.
You're an apprentice, you know.
Do you get paid to be an apprentice?
Well, an apprentice usually does apprentice-type things. An apprentice golfer can be someone who's interested in golf and works in golf, but an official apprentice would be a PGA apprentice who's trying to get his PGA card. We call it a Class A. There's a lot of classes, but it means you've gone through all of their program, which is a 4 or 5 year program. And usually you work at a golf course in some capacity as cashier, cart guy, starter, et cetera, et cetera. Got to be pretty committed because you don't make much money.
Yeah, so you either have to be very young or retired, like a bag boy.
Yeah,
the bag boys in the grocery store, either kids or they're retired.
Correct. One of the two. So that in the golf is something they've always tried to elevate to get good people, and they get people very committed because it's a pretty big sacrifice to go through the program to get to your Class A rating. I went through it many years ago when there was not any education to it to speak of, and me and 5 other guys who wanted to learn. We didn't want to just put bags on carts and be a cashier.
Right.
So we helped create the first education system, and now they have a wonderful support system if you really want to learn about the golf business.
Really?
Yeah.
So speaking about the golf business, when a golf course agrees to allow a tournament that's going to raise money, do they take a big hit by doing that?
The golf courses, depending on the season, many golf courses, I know at our golf course that I was at for several years, if it was in the summer season, they would make, like in your tournament, they paid nothing for the course.
I know. So,
which it actually costs them, besides costing them the loss of business, it costs to run a cart, whether it sits or whether you use it.
Sure.
If you use it, it costs a little more.
So there was a dollar amount that you could claim as a contribution to the cause.
Right, because that's an actual fact, because most golf courses lease the cart, so there's a daily fee based into that lease of what that cart costs, even sitting idle.
Wow.
So if you're using it, it's wear and tear on the cars. The cart has some wear and tear, percentage based in on daily use. And then, of course, if it's batteries, it's charging the batteries. If it's gas, you're using gas.
Jim, we have to do a little weather break here, and then we'll be back. If you have a question for Jim, go ahead and call right now. We'll be on hold for about 2 minutes. The phone number is 622-9622. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Partly sunny skies today with a shower with thunderstorm in spots, mainly during the afternoon hours over the interior, the high 84 to 88. Partly cloudy tonight, low 69 to 73. Tomorrow, partly sunny with an afternoon shower or thunderstorm, high 86 to 90. For Saturday, clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm through early afternoon, the high in the low to mid 80s. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe
Dan, did you know that the runway at Ocala's airport is nearly 8,000 feet long?
Why, no, Brad. I did not. Please, tell me more about said runway.
Seriously, it's a big airport.
Yeah, I kind of knew that. So what's your point?
Well, just that most people don't even realize there's an airport, much less one that's big enough for Air Force One to land.
And
that Ocala Aviation is based at Ocala International Airport.
so why are you telling me?
So that you can help me get the word out that Ocala Aviation has a fleet of airplanes and it's here for them to learn to fly.
And how do you propose we get said message across to so many people at once?
We should put an ad on a good radio station, but yours will do.
Very funny. Well, what do you want to say?
That we offer private, instrument, and even commercial training, all right here in Ocala. They don't even have to go anywhere else. They can do it all right here.
Nope, never work.
Well, then give them the number to call with any questions.
I can't even remember your number.
Yes, you do. 861-7484. How hard is that?
Okay, I'll call you next week and we'll get it started.
Can you remember the number this time?
Yes, 861-7484.
Good boy.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought to you by
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Honey,
In here.
are you tearing up the bathroom? I thought we agreed to let Mike Scott Plumbing handle this on Monday.
Yeah, I know, but I got this. I watched a how-to video on YouTube.
Oh, well. So instead of calling the professionals at Mike Scott Plumbing, who, by the way, do this for a living, and wait, is that a jackhammer?
Yep, watch this. Let the master show you how it's done. Okay, we may have an ever so slight leaking problem.
Great job, Mr. Genius. Now you broke the water line.
No, that was like that when I got here.
Well, looks like the only thing you've mastered is the art of making a mess. So now I'm picking up the phone and calling Mike Scott Plumbing, who won't charge us extra for nights, weekends, or holidays.
No, wait, I can fix this. Just hand
The
me
only
that.
thing I'm handing you is the phone. No, wait, I'll handle this. 237-2888.
On next week's episode of What Not to Do.
The fire department.
I'm Major George Patterson from the Salvation Army. Please stop by our family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala, where on Wednesday you have a 50% off clothing and bric-a-brac. On Friday, 25% off furniture and large appliances. And on Saturday, stop by to our yard sale from 8:45 to 11. Donations can be made by calling 352-732-4469 and we'll pick it up. Funds from the store go toward the services that we provide in Marion County.
All right, 18 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Jim Beckett is here. We are talking about golf. Remember, if you would like a few pointers to make your golf game better, Jim is the person to call. He's the person we went to when we needed pointers. He's the person John Travolta went to when he needed pointers. And you can have Jim teaching you right in your own favorite golf course. So let's give out that number while I'm saying that. How do they get a hold of you?
My cell number is 352-470-3876.
Okay. And you have a phone call. Let's take that call. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim Beckett.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning,
You
Mr.
have-
Beckett. A couple of quick questions. I want to know what your take on is why do we have so much trouble with the riders over in Europe, the American players? Are those courses just so much different than ours, or are their players better as a group, or what?
In looking at this for a number of years that it's been going on, it appears to me like it's mental perception. I think the European golfers truly play more for fun, even though they're very competitive. But I believe the biggest difference is they all are great ball strikers. I mean, that's a given. They all can drive the ball. The shorter drivers who drive the ball then are more adept at the longer irons and the hybrids. So they get to the green pretty much the same on statistics. I believe the difference is in putting.
Really?
Yep, they even talked about that a little bit this year about the Europeans made more of the 3 to 6 footers percentage-wise significantly, and they tend to putt overall more efficient, which is really strange. You'd think our players would be better.
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah, I'm surprised that you come up with that. See, another quick question is, as a pro, you can golf up to you get in your middle age. Is there a certain age limit that you cannot be on the pro, and you have to go to the seniors?
You don't have to go at all. It's just something else they put together so that A golfer could, if they wanted to remain competitive, could go out and play against players that have lost some distance in some of their skills. And age does that regardless, no matter how talented you are. So there were several golfers who have played on both for several years. They still play some of the competitive on the big tour as well as the senior tour. One last little comment I want to tell you, because we don't have to hurry, that I know makes a difference, I believe, also for the European players. They play on a much wider, different a venue of golf courses. In other words, I have firsthand knowledge of this. Many years ago, I was a pro at a facility, and they were going to have a PGA event at it, and they came in a year earlier with a Bible of things that they had to do for the golf course to get it in what they call tour quality shape.
Wow.
So we had to change some things in the traps. We had to change some of the tee placements. So like one of the examples is we had the 11th hole was our premier par 3 hole. It was 227 yards. Way too long for most of the golfers that played at our golf course, so they played the white tee or the senior tee. And I used to play that back tee back when I was a better player, and I was so anxious to see how much better they would hit and what club they would hit from that back tee. Well, when they finally came to the tournament, they never played the back tee one time in the 4 rounds. They moved that tee forward into the 210 range or down as low as 195 yards. So they basically played the white tee, but on TV they said they were playing the 227-yard par 3.
Oh, wow.
So the Europeans play obviously in a variety of different countries, which has a whole lot of difference in the grasses, and the courses aren't quite as manicured, even though they're in fabulous shape, where the courses here, the grass height, the rough height, the width of the fairways, and what tee they play, and how smooth the greens are, and at what speed is much more controlled, whether they're in Spokane, Washington, or Texas, or New York, or wherever. So I don't think they have the same ability to adjust to the slight variations in the golf course that the Europeans do. So between putting and that, I'm sorry?
Thank you very much. It was very interesting. You gave me a lot of stuff that I had no idea about.
Yeah, really.
All right, sir. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
So do we do the same thing in reverse? Do we go over there and change their golf courses? Or?
No. They set it up. They set their courses up the same way their tour would set them up.
Oh, okay.
So I'm surprised they haven't talked about that a little bit, because I believe that's kind of obvious. I only played a little bit when I was a player, but I noticed the sand was the same texture whether I played in different states. They have the similarities were tried to make them more consistent. And the reason they thought of that, I was told they thought that, is no matter where they played, they wanted to test the same skill level. So from that perspective, that was a good thing.
Sure, yeah.
But for making them better players, being able to adapt to different green speeds and grasses and what have you, they became tunnel vision. They became a one-way, one-fix-all. It really hurt their skill levels, in my opinion.
So if they didn't do that, it seems to me that you would be better off before you're actually in a competition to play the course one time, just for the fun of it.
Correct.
Just to get familiar with it.
Correct.
Okay.
And they are, obviously they are unbelievably talented golfers, but just by not doing that on a regular basis, anything you do, if you do it more repetitive, you refine that just by being the nature of being a human being, which that's a professional.
Yeah.
So I believe those guys, they play a little looser, if you want to call it, a little more comfortable, and they play it with a different perspective. Our guys, now that they started losing, they won when it was just England. Of course, the competition wasn't equal then. They didn't have as many good golfers in the pool to draw from. Jack Nicklaus did that and said, why don't we broaden that to the European Tour, which means they'll have a wider pool of players to pick their team from. And that was supposed to neutralize the field.
And it did? Did it work?
It did, immediately. But by the same token, they started playing more venues than just the English golf courses.
Okay.
So they were already used to that, and our players aren't. So they go plenty early, and they do a very good job. But you can't just adapt instantaneously, I don't believe. And now that the Americans have lost so much, I think it's self-imposed pressure. That's human nature too.
But if golf as a business, which you started talking about that earlier, if golf as a business is responding to the needs or the demands, is a better word, I guess, of the golfers themselves, then they would have to play there in order to know what they want here, if they wanted any of the changes.
Well, not too many Americans play the European Tour,
I
but
would
a lot of
think, yeah.
Europeans play the American Tour.
Okay.
So they've got the double standard. I mean, they just are more prepared because of that exposure, I think. If had I not played a little bit, and only a little bit, I wouldn't have probably picked up on that so much. And I'm surprised that our I don't know if it's political or what, but I don't know why the press doesn't pick up on that, because obviously they have access to that, and I think they know it.
Now, when you hear about athletes in general going to a higher altitude where the air is thinner,
that's a big difference.
Or you hear about like a Chicago team playing Florida where it's a lot hotter. Is there a way to adjust to that as a golfer?
A golfer, they actually will give you a printed chart of the additional distance you will hit with certain clubs at a certain altitude. So that you can adjust, yes. The first time I experienced that, I went to Colorado to play at a mountain course, about 6,000 feet average, I think.
You hit farther when it's thin air?
Oh, yeah, you immediately hit farther. And our hot and muggy air is heavier. It's got water in it.
Yeah.
So Death Valley is about the only place you can hit shorter in our country than Florida.
Oh, really? Death Valley is humid?
Oh, well.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was like a desert.
Well, I'm told. That I don't know for sure. I may be speaking out of turn there. But Florida has high humidity, and humidity is water. So the air is denser. Same thing in airplanes. If you fly the airplane higher, the engine is more efficient and uses more horsepower and less fuel. That's why they fly the jets so high.
Makes sense.
Thinner air. You're not. If you go drive down in a car at 60 miles an hour, put your hand out sideways in the window and feel all that resistance.
Right away. Yeah.
If you do that in cold air, it has less resistance. You can actually feel it in a car at 60 miles an hour.
We're in October, so we're pre-thinking our gift buying. I want to hear if there's anything in the golf world that is just a bunch of nonsense that you've seen. Just something that's just dopey. I always tell my family, my grandkids and my family, don't buy me anything for golf. First off, I can buy it cheaper, and if you do buy it, it's probably not going to be what I want anyway. Wait a minute, I have something I want to tell you, but this isn't in the dopey category. This was actually kind of cool. Lake Ridge Winery, the wine place. Have you ever been in the store there?
I have.
Okay, and have you ever seen the golf club wine bottle holders?
Yes.
You have one, don't you?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
But that would be a good gift, wouldn't it, for a golfer?
If they're a wine drinker.
Sure. I didn't understand it, though. I mean, why would you keep your bottle in that position? But
have no idea. I'm not a wine drinker. My wife is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does your wife golf?
She's golfed 6 or 7 times in 12 years.
And how many times have you golfed?
Well, I used to play a lot more than I do now. I play now if it's a good golf course or who I'm playing with or things of that nature. And now at my age, I'm playing golf because it's interesting to me to take lesser skill levels and see if I can figure out a way to take the right compression of ball. And I've just adjusted my clubs this week, as a matter of fact, with the shafts. Yeah, the shaft is the motor of a golf club, so I've adjusted the motor down to match my input. So golf fitting is not fitting. Personalization is very necessary in golf. It's like you. I would give you a longer club with a thicker grip and a slightly stronger shaft because you're still strong. And if you don't have that, you're not going to hit as good as your potential. You
know what happens when we do a show? I enjoy it. And then I lose track of the time. So that's exactly what happened just now.
It always happens to us, doesn't it?
What is your phone number?
It's 352-470-3876. And I'm in the process of writing a what's called, we haven't titled it yet, a horse sense book about golf.
Really?
And I think Dan's going to be my co-author.
Oh, excellent. For real?
We just talked about it this morning.
Oh, excellent. Good job.
Be pertinent things for the regular golfer.
Nice. I like that. I can't wait to interview you and Dan.
Good.
About the book.
Good.
I hope I can understand it when I read it. A lot of these books talk about. No?
It will be totally understandable.
It'll be for me?
To even a non-golfer.
Okay, well, that's me. Thank you, Jim. You're always a great interview. I love talking to you. We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA.
My name is Dr. Erica Olstein with A Better You Healthcare Acupuncture and Eastern Medicine. Join me Friday, October 10th at 11 a.m. when we do a live acupuncture session right here in the studios of WOCA. Acupuncture is used to treat everything from back pain and migraines to high blood pressure and allergies. We treat the source of your problems, not just your symptoms. For more information, go to